Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. Today's all about off-roading. Now, we are using an open B class. However, all of the circuits are going to be off-road or cross-country events, while some of them, like the Ambleside Scramble that we're starting with here, is a track that we do use. Quite a lot of them are stuff that we don't work for normal sorts of racing, so this should be quite interesting. I have built something mad. I say something mad. It is the Arctic Trucks Toyota Hilux. However, doesn't have the normal engine. No, this has got a turbo rally engine in it, which is either brilliant or terrible. It could go either way. I genuinely don't have a clue. It is likely to not be very fast in straights. Honestly, it's probably not going to quite have the power. My hope is that it will at least have some half-decent grip in the corners. It's got some pretty wide tyres, but say in the corners, I mean on the dirt corners and so on. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what way it's going to go. The Regalia is massive and taking up all of the road. The Tamo is... There are a couple of folks who have tried to go with more normal cars in this. There is the Tamo, as you can see up ahead, is rather dwarfed by a lot of the vehicles. The Regalia found out the difficulties of driving a monster truck on a little windy British rally stage is that, well, there are trees in the way. Oh, Tamo missed a checkpoint. That is easily done. That is easily done around here. Points-wise, it's close. Red team have got the lead. Longbow in first. I mean, Longbow and Viper are both driving the Wranglers. Not actually a bad shout at all for this. You get decent ground clearance. You get lots of PI to play with. They start off as D-class cars, so lots of PI to work with in this. Mine was a fairly low C-class, I think. But yeah, I wanted to get a bigger engine in it, but I couldn't get a bigger engine and keep it in B-class. So hence why I thought, screw it, let's go for a turbo rally, which is probably not very suitable for this sort of application, but never mind, it was an option, so we'll do it. It's 1.6 litre engine in this Land Cruiser. What a machine. Sorry, I might have called this a Hilux if I did, my bad. I have the Land Cruiser version. There is someone on our team has got the Hilux pickup truck version as well, because of course the only Toyotas we can have are modified off-roaders. I mean, it's the first time I've used it, I have to say, and it's not terrible. It's not quite as good as the Wranglers. My only hope is that Viper may make a little mistake. We saw just a brush on the wall through that final corner. With any luck, I might be able to take advantage of any of those little errors. We have a couple of laps to go at the moment. I am in the classic sit and watch. Not quite close enough to go for an attack, but a little too far back. Or not quite close enough to go for an attack. But there, if something happens, if there's a brush on the wall, because the wall will slow you down quite a lot. The Fiesta is not having a good time. This is exclusive off-road stuff. If you haven't built your car accordingly, it's gonna be painful. If I hadn't hit the wall, we might have been in with a chance there of second place. Well, we have got the points currently. However, I would really, really like to get second just for Turbo Rally Hilux. I appreciate at least the Fiesta keeping out of the way as we came barreling past with the big SUVs. The Tamo, unfortunately, with that missed checkpoint. Of course, I forgot how immensely fast the Regalia was. I didn't even realise that was catching us as quick as it was. I saw the blue dot on the map. I just thought it was a lap-down car. Yeah, that thing gets such big tyres that, well, that's gone. We will not get a podium. I will not get a podium. In fact, that's actually going to cost us the adventure. Bugger. Oh, I missed a checkpoint early on. I think that might be very quick. I think that might be far too quick for me. We were enjoying a good little scrap until we got punted wide at the hairpin, and I wasn't close enough to beat the Wrangler. In the end, Longbow takes victory with the Wrangler. So 1-2 for Wranglers. I could only manage fourth with the weird Heretic Toyota. It's not bad. I don't know what it's going to work at and where it's not going to work at, but we'll have to wait and see. So, up next, we head to the castle cross-country circuit. Now, I have used this, and I stopped using it in Team Adventures in the past. There's a jump that should be interesting. If your car is too slow, you will be in trouble here. Now, we might see some bounced and flipped over vehicles, which will be funny. That's what I am going for here. Bouncing, flipping vehicles and hoping that mine comes off better than some of the others. I'm a long, long way back. Me and the other Toyota are down the back. The other Wrangler is with us. Longbow thankfully starting on pole for Red Team. If we could have a good round for Red Team, that would be nice. So the Wrangler outdoes me in terms of straight line speed. That is to be expected. Most things probably will outdo me in terms of straight line speed. I wouldn't argue with the Toyotas. They are big and heavy. They're not quite as heavy as, well, not quite as heavy as the Regalia, or perhaps some of the. Oh, hello, little Cortina. We nearly jumped over you. This is the bit that matters now. If your car is too slow, you will get in trouble on this jump. Now, I expect the Tamo might have trouble with the thick sand here. I shall be up here no trouble. One of the red cars fell off. I think that was Ender. May have fallen off. I misjudged the wall there. That has cost me a couple of positions. Oh, there goes the Mercedes X-Class to the outside. The Tamo's stayed ahead of me. I was going to overtake that bugger. So the sand slows down the Tamo. That's interesting. I did say, ground clearance was always going to be a factor, perhaps. I'd hope to use a few more water, but we're doing this in races that feature the water. But we're doing this in summer, and a couple of the point-to-point stuff that would run through rivers. They're all the dried-up rivers. So, and I couldn't remember all of them either. That also didn't help. But the one I was going to use is, I don't believe, any water on, really. Regardless, we have had a little bit of a scruffy time. This is not likely to be a track that my Land Cruiser likes. This is too fast for the Land Cruiser. I want a very tight, very twisty circuit, make the most of the grip that I have, basically. I'm not sure what one of our vehicles is leading the way out here. It isn't Longbow with the Wrangler. Points-wise, we aren't quite leading, which is a little bit of a shame. Chris has gone. Chris has had issues. This is where the full-on off-roaders may have trouble. I don't know which way is quicker here. I feel like the way on the bottom is the slightly preferable line. Oh, there's 50 points in it. I mean, the battle between me and the Merc over 6th might be what makes the difference, depending on how things go. There are 50 points in it at the moment. Let's use some of the power, some of the torque from the Turbo Rally engine to move us along. I don't think I can catch the Wrangler up ahead. It doesn't look quite as comfortable out here as it perhaps did at Ambleside. Again, this might not be a track that suits that car particularly. Is it? Did I just spot? Is it a bright red pickup? It's the might be the Hilux actually that's leading the way for us. We've got another 100 points, which is nice. Their Regalia is fast. That big monster truck is surprisingly rapid vehicle. It looks silly. We do find that you find this sometimes with Forza games. There are some vehicles that look absurd, but do work very well indeed. We are starting to catch Viper a little bit. Are we going to go for a Persecution where we just get stuck racing the same bloody car? Race in, race out. It does happen sometimes. I've chucked that in with probably a little bit too much speed. Longbow's got up to 2nd. Good work from our Wrangler. All I can do is just sit and watch as we bounce around off-road. Pull clear of the Merc as much as I can. We gain a little bit in the twisty stuff, but I can't match pace on these, slightly longer straights and so on. Oh, be brave through there, carry as much speed as I dare, wobble around a little bit over this section. It'd be fun to be in the fight, but I'm not quite there. I was hoping to go through the gap left by the car ahead, although that's put me out quite wide for all of this. I like a slightly tighter line through that part. It's the watching brief. That is what we have at the moment. Longbow is only just ahead of Speed Beast, and that is an important battle up there. Speed Beast, I think, got the massive Regalia stuck in one of the archways. Regalia's lost a lot of time. Is it lost enough time to allow me to have a go? I think even if I do draw up there, it will not be enough. Sadly. Like even if it had been a bigger off and I got past it, I don't think I would have held it against that beast. I can hope that it slows down the Jeep. Unlikely, but I can but hope though. Seems like the leader, Hilux, if it is that is running away at the front, is completely gone. The leader is completely buggered off. Well played. Whatever you are driving, that is absolutely flying around this circuit. The little Fiesta, again, is not working. Clark has got past into a second place, which is less than ideal. I've got a very... See, I do really well out here. I do very, very well out on the beach turn. There's a big battle going on for second. Will there be any mistakes in this battle for fourth and fifth? Viper got a big slide. There is nowhere to go side by side down here. I will have to have a big chuck at the inside of a corner if I want to try and make a pass stick. And it is not going to be enough for the Land Cruiser. Bugger. We got there. I think we set some okay lap times. In the end, I couldn't quite take fifth place away. Another lap. Another lap or just a slightly wider play. If I'd caught Viper at a slightly wider place, it would have been perfect. As it was, though, not quite enough. But the important thing, Red Team took a round victory. So, the Mudkickers 4x4 Scramble Circuit is up next. There is, well, funnily enough, plenty of mud. There is some jumps. There is a chance of falling over. The Tamo might have some fun times in this one. The Tamo may well have some fun times. I just realised there's a Ranger Raptor in both of our teams. Fantastic vehicle, that one. And then there's a main Raptor as well. Oh, it was the Raptor that was running away at the front, not the highlight. I saw red pickup, and I know the Toyota was the red pickup as well. So the Raptor was very good at the beach. Here, I may struggle. See, I was very good at the thick sand. Basically, the more seriously off-roading, the better my Land Cruiser does. Now, I will probably be very quick on these corners, but I'm going to lose a lot down the straight. That being said, I might be better over the jumps. We'll have to wait and see. We have now lost the Tamo, so at least the teams have evened themselves out. That's something. But there we go. Yeah, this corner here is where I may well be able to make some time up in the Land Cruiser. Might be able to frustrate a blue team car. Oh, we're going to get alongside. I think the Regalia may have won this one already, unless someone has an immense amount of speed that I don't know about. The Raptor really flies. In fact, both the Raptors outstrip me down the straight. I think the Regalia is quick until it gets to a twisty circuit. If it's technical enough, the Regalia is just too ungainly to work. The Wrangler is going to give us a helping hand. That's less than ideal. Whereas our Wrangler's fallen back a little bit, which is not great. I'm going to go underneath. Now, normally would all be fighting over the outside line to try to avoid the puddle. In these, it's probably less of a concern. Likewise, these jumps, much less of a concern. Everyone got the suspension to deal with the landings very nicely indeed. Our Raptor is desperately clinging on to... trying to cling on to a podium spot, but it isn't going to be enough. It might still out-drag these cars down the back straight. Come on, F-150, you can't be beaten by the little European version of you. Christ. This track is not working for us. Our fast Wrangler's got snared in traffic, and I am just not good enough here. I need a much... there would be a layout of Mudkickers Park that would work wonders for me. However, that would have to be lots of technical corners on the mud. And we have one technical corner for which I am very quick through. However, one corner on a circuit, being quick at one turn is not enough to make up for my just general lack of straight line speed, acceleration, down the long straights. Yeah, here, for example. I could probably cut underneath the Raptor. Yeah, no problem. And we may even get past it on the way onto the tarmac. We actually go all the way out towards the wall. Won't matter, though, because we'll just get following past as we head on to the strat. Actually, I might have forgotten to be changing up gears when I should have done. That's less than ideal. Is the Raptor going to look to the outside at turn 1? Probably, although, yeah, it doesn't quite have the grip to fully make something stick there. I mean, I like my weird creation here. It actually could have been a lot worse. I expected it to either be unbelievably brilliant or completely useless, and it isn't completely useless. That is the good thing. It's not unbelievably brilliant. It's a solid upper midfield car with potential to work very well at specific circuits. Otherwise, yeah, it's very fast in specific circumstances and midfield if not. Which could be worse. I mean, points-wise, we've clawed some back, but Blue have got so many for a 1-2-3 that there's not much I can do here. We can try. It doesn't actually help the Blue team had a car disconnect, but started the race, so wait. Yeah, oh, wait, hold on. We have actually now just brought it back. It was a lot close. I might have goofed my counting ever so slightly if I stay ahead of Clark. Of course, I saw us on like 850 points, expecting us to be absolutely hammered, but of course there are less cars in the field. The point system is a little bit different in this one than perhaps we are used to with only 10 cars running rather than 12. So me versus the Ranger Raptor is an important battle here. I think even if I stay ahead, which I can do there, we would need... I know why it's all changed, because the leader disconnected. This is the disconnection session. The Regalia is gone out of this race. No Regalia makes it a lot closer a battle here, as Longbow's going to try and run to the outside. Longbow won't do it. We will get... the game forgot how to count again. We got second. Longbow got fourth, though. It wouldn't have mattered either way. But Disconnection Central has made for an interesting mess of a adventure. So, with no one being able to stay connected, we head to the Gardens cross-country circuit with an unknown number of vehicles. It's 5 versus 4 currently. I think we have got the Regalia trying to reconnect. Could still be a fun battle. I think Blue Team have 2 wins and Red have 1, so if we can get some... If we can get a victory here, that's needed, really, to take it to a final round. Don't know what's going to like this circuit. This is a little bit more fiddly, which could play into the hands of the Land Cruiser. We'll have to wait and see. Mercedes is very, very quick off of the line. There are a couple of nasty landings. This one in particular, I've certainly seen weird things happen to trucks off of this. The F-150 Raptor could be very fast here in places as well with all that straight line speed. It depends if we can keep control of it through the more technical sections, such as this, and what it's like on the dirt. Let's, not dirt, sorry, in the water. Let's not forget that is an important bit of this particular layout. So, I'm getting bopped by Raptors everywhere in Turbo Rally Land Cruiser. We have a truck leading the way, which is something. Where is our Wrangler? There it is. Go on, Wrangler. Go through. I don't want to fight you. What I do want to fight is the Ranger, if I can, because another 100 points would be good for us. We will get past that. Right. Blue team might have a 1-2, but can we do... Oh, Longbow's got a wobble on. That's not so good. Yeah, this is a test for your off-road stability. Oh, the Mercedes was in the wall. One of our Raptors has got to the front. I murdered a lamppost, and that, despite having what looked like a good run for me, completely and utterly screwed me over for any sort of momentum there. There could be some big jumps around there. Viper was playing that really close with falling over. I saw that. That was very, very close with the old falling over. There are 50 points in it at the moment. If one of us could pass the Ranger, that would be good. Hell, if our Hilux could get past the X-Class, that would also be good. As it stands at the moment, it falls to me to chase after the Ranger, or it falls to the F-150 to try and take the victory away from the Wranglers. Seem to have been a pretty solid choice of vehicle in this. They seem to have worked. So that's where I carry so much speed. I like the technical twisty bits. We might get murdered down the straight. It kind of seems like my Land Cruiser, it takes me a couple of laps to really figure out what I can do with the Land Cruiser. But once I do figure out what I can do with it, it absolutely flies. And we can box Clark in a little bit through here, make it difficult for him. We have got the lead here on Red Team, which is nice. We've got the Hilux past. We've got a couple of laps for me to try and find a way past the Ranger as I bumble around a little bit nastily over that. I don't think we've quite got the speed of that Wrangler up at the front. Wrangler looks at times a little bit out of control, a little bit bobbly for some of these jumps, but I don't think I personally certainly haven't got the speed of that. The Raptor can beat it, but only at the straight stuff. We close in huge amounts through here, but not enough to be able to ever get past Clark, who is then struggling to pass the F-150 because it out-accelerates the little pickup everywhere. It's great racing on the dirt. Fantastic racing we have got going on. Teensy little bit of lag. If I get that right, look at the speed we can gain in the Land Cruiser. Unfortunately, it's just nowhere to get a pass completed with all of that speed. We are closer. Longbow's fallen back. Maybe a mistake somewhere has dropped our Wrangler down in terms of time. I so struggle for straight line speed. The water, not good for my Land Cruiser. Oh no, lamppost also very bad for my Land Cruiser. So if I hit the lamppost, I'm screwed. If I get a perfect run through there, we are okay. Oh, it's just gone the way of blue team as our Raptor loses out, and we have to get second here. We can. Oh, is this the final lap? I thought we had one more. How did I miscount? Please, Forza, forget how to count on this one. If there's ever a time to forget how to count, please let it have been this one. Between those top two, it wasn't. Blue team win by 50 points. There was no more that we could do. Certainly no more that I could do. Maybe a slight better run. If I hadn't hit those lampposts through the car park, maybe I could have fought the Ranger and maybe I could have distracted the Ranger for long enough to let our Raptor do the business. It was close, at least. So, the final race for us to try and get some redemption for Red Team, to get something out of the Land Cruiser. I'll get there eventually. Will have us run through the Astmore Rally Trail. This has twisty bits, it has some fast bits as well. So, if I'm going to win, I have to have a very big lead by the time we get to the end of the twisty section. Ooh, that's an interesting front row as well. We have our Wrangler versus the Ranger. I fear things probably aren't going to go my way. We've got to try and get it from a long way back in the field as well. The Quartz is back connected. That is likely to be pretty rapid. I actually forgot this started on tarmac. It's the only bit of tarmac we have seen so far. It's very weird, very alien to all of us in the big silly trucks. Oh, that's not the corner I thought it was. Why did I think that was much tighter? I don't know. Apparently I'm just a bit of a muppet. No. I could have done... I mean, the good news is at least we are currently winning, technically, for Red Team. I could have done with a much better start. This is going to be a painful experience. It might come down to me stemming the tide of everything else behind us. You know, if I can fend off the X-Class, that would be very, very helpful indeed for us in terms of points. We are currently winning here on Red Team. Now we go on to the dirt. Oh. Well, it lasted for about a quarter of the race. We had a good position. Unfortunately, our Hilux missed a checkpoint, and that is difficult to recover from. And I was hoping the Land Cruiser might work on this, but I wonder, because it's not the thick... Like, it's the thick mud seems to be where I get a lot of speed. The thick mud, sand and all of that is where I seem to have the speed. I think this has slightly different off-road tyres to a rally-tyred vehicle, if I remember correctly. We saw a couple of cars in the rally car build go very quickly with these different tyres because they're just good at cutting through the sand. And on gravel, it might not work. I had hoped that it might be twisty enough out here, but perhaps I don't think I have the power. It's a little bit of a disappointment, really. It's falling to Longbow currently. I can't do a damn thing about the rest of the field. Yeah, the start didn't help me, absolutely. But even now, we're running in clean air. There is much I can do. Just keep the Merc behind at this point. I know our Raptors are certainly quite powerful in a straight line, so they get the acceleration needed out of the corners and up the hills. Yeah, points aren't going to go for us whatsoever, which is a shame. My Turbo Rally engine gamble could work, but not for what we're doing here. I think there is a couple of scenarios where this works very well. However, this is not one of them. One of our trucks has missed a checkpoint as well. One of our Raptors has gone wide. I am just going, it's maximum bravery through all of this, but there is little more that we can do, sadly, with the Land Cruiser. Well, it's been an interesting time. My gamble didn't quite pay off. We had some fun races. We did have some fun races in the midst of all that. We could have got... I think Blue Team on balance had the better cars and certainly deserved the win. There were a couple of times where things could have gone our way if we'd been just that little bit luckier. Just managed to cling on for that little bit longer and so on. But that is the way it goes sometimes with motorsport, with racing. Just didn't quite pan out for us. It was worth a try with something a little bit different, something a little bit wacky. That, though, is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you'd like to sign up and take part in the next one of these, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. Find the FailRace versus the community section, and you can sign up in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.